All right. Well, I have us at 4:00, so we can go ahead and call our special open meeting to order. Thank you guys all for joining and taking another one of your Friday afternoons to do all this important work together. So appreciate that. I know we do have on our agenda our Pledge of Allegiance, so we can certainly start with that as part of our regular open meeting. Alrighty. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. All right, good work. All right, so our agenda item for today is to discuss the request for quote or RFQ and the legal representation of the library district and ongoing litigation. So thank you, John, for drafting the RFQ initial draft. And Diana, I know you'd already worked on edits and revisions this week. I made a few small suggested tweaks to verbiage in there that you see as well as real-time updates. So we can go ahead and begin discussion on that. John or Diana, if you want to begin our discussion.
So as a base document, I don't have any issues with any of the. I looked at all your edits and I think they're all fine. I like what you did, Echo, with making it more concise and I like what you did as well, Echo. So I don't have a problem with any of these edits.
Okay.
And Mary, just to make sure we're all talking, did you get a chance in advance to review, or do you want us to go through and read it here? I don't want you to be put on the spot, but just making sure.
I read it and I agree with the edits that have been made.
Okay. Well, if there are no further topics for general discussion, I would hear a motion to move forward.
I move that we move forward with this RFQ with and accepting all the edits.
Second.
Oh, I think, do we need to fill in? I didn't want to presume who the attorney was, but we did go through RFP process and we had a gentleman who was qualified. Should we just go ahead and plug his name in there? Because I have TBD up top and I don't know of any lawyer named TBD, so.
Yeah, maybe we ought to just put Richard Winders in there and submit it to him since we've already got all, he seemed like a highly qualified candidate, even though we ended up picking Robert. I think Rich does a lot of litigation and I think he'd be perfectly capable of doing this.
Yeah, for sure. And Tori, can you maybe help remind us or others when we did our RFQ or RFP the last time, where did we post that? Was it posted publicly? I don't recall.
Yeah, we made a web page for it and then sent you a link.
That's right.
I
would be open to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd be open to us doing that again if the group thought it would be valuable to post it publicly to ensure that it's available, in addition to sending the copy directly.
Does that kind of cover us on so we're not?
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want to not advertise for potential, but I think the timeline is going to potentially be short. So if the group would be open to posting publicly, if there's other excellent local candidates that would be interested, they'd have the opportunity. Otherwise, certainly inviting previous, RFP candidates directly, I think is appropriate.
Yeah. The only thing is we're actually putting in there, as it is right now, we're putting in there that we're telegraphing our intentions to dismiss the lawsuit. And I guess, the horse has probably already left the barn on that anyway, since we talked about it on Monday. And wait, was that closed or open? I don't remember.
That was closed.
That was closed. Okay. I mean, the horse may be already out of the barn now. We're telegraphing our intentions to dismiss the lawsuit. And I just wonder if we want to be quite so, so bold about that. I wonder, and again, I may be too late, but I'm thinking maybe that it might be better if we, just said we're requesting a quote to hire counsel to enter appearance in this. Well, I mean, we already know what we want to do, but maybe we should have it say we're requesting a quote for counsel to represent the library board in this litigation. And then allow that person, whoever it may be, to say, we can tell that whoever we hire, we can say, this is what we want to do, but let them give us advice as to what they think the best course of action is.
For sure.
I don't know. What do you think about that?
This one here is really confusing because the library board never agreed or voted to enter into a lawsuit. So Harry filed the lawsuit on behalf of the library district, and we never asked him to do that.
Right. Absolutely. And he opened up a huge can of worms for us when he did that.
Right. So I would have thought that when he was released and not commissioned to do that, that he would have removed the library district because he doesn't represent us.
Yeah.
So this is really a strange situation.
Now, I have a question. What kind of timeline are we working with? Because if you're going to post it publicly, you're going to want to keep it open for a window of time. Is there a time crunch here to get this done? I guess I'm just trying to understand a little bit more.
Well, from a civil procedure standpoint, the hearing on the motion on our motion to dismiss, the defendant's motion to dismiss. Let me be careful in how I word this. That was this past Wednesday, and Judge Johnson gave us 20 days to file an answer.
Okay.
So if the board is still a plaintiff on February 25th, then we would have to file an answer to the library board's petition. If the library board is dismissed out prior to February 25th, then we just have to answer, the defendants just have to answer Janice's petition.
Okay.
And as a practical matter, I think the answer is going to be the same either way. It's going to, because it was one petition for both plaintiffs. So the response, I think, it's not going to vary depending on who the plaintiff is. But that is, it's something to think about. I think it would be my preference that if the library board is going to dismiss this litigation, it dismisses it before the defendants are required to file an answer to it.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to be clear here too, that we're doing a request for proposal. We're not asking for outside bids. We're just asking for the one quote from the vetted lawyer that we had already spoken to.
Yeah.
That
Because
makes sense. And maybe that's the point of clarification that my brain needed. John, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going out to bid. This is a quote.
Thank you.
We're asking for a quote, and
Because we've already gone through RFP and qualified a candidate. Yeah.
well,
Okay.
and
Got it.
also the dollar amount doesn't call for that. I mean, if we went out to bid for every $200 to $500,
no, absolutely.
that would be a little crazy.
Yeah, you're right. We have the vetted candidate from the RFP and the dollar
we really
threshold.
so then we really don't need to post it publicly.
Yeah.
We just need to send it
Yep.
to Richard Winters and see if he wants the job, and if he doesn't, then we find somebody else.
Right. It's going to be public record anyway, right?
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
request for quote, his answer, it's all public
Okay.
information.
Okay.
I take that back. If his response has strategies for the district in it, then maybe that isn't. Right, Diana? Then that's not public record.
I'm not sure. I think I need to. I'm not as familiar with the ins and outs of the sunshine laws I need to be, but I'm learning.
Yeah,
But I don't
hopefully,
really have-
hopefully he doesn't reply back with all kinds of legal strategies and things we want to do that he would recommend. That's not public record.
Okay.
Because that's what I understand.
And I
Because-
wonder if we, like when we did with Robert, our first meeting together, if he agrees to provide the bid, is meet with him and review it. I don't, I don't know.
Well, let's put it out there to him and echo you're the point on this. So if he comes back with a lot of background questions, then you can share with him why Robert thinks we need independent counsel for this.
Yeah.
You know, my understanding is just it keeps it clean.
Yep.
So we don't.
Yeah. Well, and it keeps Judge Johnson from recusing herself from the case.
Right.
All right. So any other discussion? Tori, are you comfortable accepting the edits in the document in John's motion that says we will accept it as edited?
Sure, I can do that now. I'm assuming you're saying you guys are going to send this and get the response directly to you if we're not posting it and doing it from the library? Like just you, Echo, as an individual trustee or something?
Sounds like it.
And then you'll just send it.
You could just copy and paste this into the body of an email, Echo, and it
Yeah.
just, if you wouldn't mind, copy us on that so that we see that it went. And is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So John,
I guess we need a new motion.
I was going to say, would you please consider amending your motion?
Yes, I move that we single quote this to the vetted attorney. Was it Robert Winders?
Richard Winders.
Richard Winders as the single recipient, as he was already qualified, and we accept all the edits, and that Echo will then send this as an email to Richard for a response.
All right. I gotcha. Diana, are you comfortable seconding the motion as revised?
Yes, I second.
Perfect. Any discussion on the revised motion? Hearing none, we can move to a roll call vote. Trustee Brazil,
Aye.
Trustee Garrity,
Aye.
and Trustee Hernandez de Caro.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. That is our only agenda item for today. Is there any questions before we adjourn today? All right, hearing none, I call the meeting adjourned at 4:13 p.m. and thank you all for your time on this Friday.